film.
Do you know what the biggest hint is, though?
What?
The fact that it's called Witches of Eastwick.
Oh, yes. Yes.
You know? I just can't understand why nobody rants and raves about this film or like, I just, it's not referenced in pop culture that I know of.
No, and I suppose, it doesn't really have a lot of intentionally kind of quotable quotes. It doesn't have, like, particularly memorable lines or even a kind of, big kind of set piece scene that kind of sticks in your memory.
No, there isn't. I mean, the only thing that I can think of, which is actually my favourite scene, that's the only bit that kind of does stand out to me. We'll talk about that in a minute. But it confuses me. This should have been an unforgotten gem.
Yeah.
Up there with not Star Wars, but the films like Grease,
or even something like Death Becomes Her, which has a similar kind of feel to it.
Oh well, that's kind of a forgotten film, Freya. Come on.
Does everyone not love that film?
Yeah, everyone loves it, but it's nobody talks about it at all.
I think but everyone's it's the kind of, oh yes, of course, yeah, that's really great, I love that film, and there are things that immediately kind of come into your mind when you say Death Becomes Her.
Well, I mean, so I put up on Instagram the image of a voodoo doll, thinking, oh, people will get this.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait a minute, it's just a voodoo doll with some feathers on it. Maybe I'll hashtag Eastwick in there.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not sure. Sorry if that's patronising. I completely didn't mean to come across.
Patronising our audience,
I'm
Matt.
so sorry. People know about the film, but they don't really talk about it.
Well, now maybe this is the thing, because in the film, after Daryl Van Horn tells people his name, they don't remember it. And I have seen the film before, definitely, but I couldn't remember it until I watched it again. So maybe this film was actually made by the devil.
Well, by the devil, you mean John Peters?
Yes. Exactly right. You heard it here first.
He is a devil. It has to be said that, John Peters.
But it is curious, isn't it, that, it just... it doesn't really have that kind of standout imagery that really sticks in your head.
No, it doesn't. It's not like... I can't think of a scene specifically. And the only scene I've got in my head is in Flash Gordon, where he's reaching into the little pit thing, like with the little scorpion thing. But that's not a monument. Okay, so the scene in... Why are you laughing at that?
I'm just laughing because you couldn't remember.
Just the most random thing.
Yeah.
This film has made me forget things. Okay, so the scene in the Breakfast Club where they're all sitting around.
Yeah.
And they're talking. So that's quite a memorable scene. The scene where, in The Godfather, where Don Corleone says, like, you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding. That sort of thing. Those are monumental scenes. Witches of Eastwick doesn't have any monumental scenes.
No.
But it's still a good film.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I definitely think it's a good film.
So, can we talk about girl power?
Yes, we can, always.
This is a very good, I'm going to say feminist film.
Yes.
Is that right? Sorry, I'm the wrong person to be talking about this. I think this is a strong female film.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, the three main women, do get manipulated by Daryl. Mr. Van Horn.
Yeah, just call him that.
But by Jack, let's call him Jack, because it's too hard to call him Daryl.
Yeah, okay.
That's probably the only bad thing about this film, is like, Daryl, really? But they do overcome him, and actually they don't kind of give in to him very easily. He has to really work to manipulate them.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's interesting that, he isn't... they haven't made him... They didn't choose a really young, very, very handsome, really polished actor.
Oh, God, no.
I mean, I'm not throwing shade at Jack Nicholson. I think he's a beautiful man. I love his face. It's ridiculous.
He has got sex appeal.
He does. It's just he's just a bit of a brute, and he's very pointy. like his eyebrows and his mouth.
Well, he is just a horny little devil.
He is.
Yeah. As he says so himself.
But he's not portrayed this kind of, they haven't given him this glamour of, the devil, how it's not about, oh, well, women can be won over by, good looks. He manipulates them.
Oh, God, yeah.
With what he says and, what he does, so...
Well, he's very good at talking. I will say that.
Yeah.
He has quite a few good monologues.
Yeah.
So...
So, but eventually they do kind of turn the tables on him.
Yes.
Which is good. And they outsmart him, really.
Yeah, which... Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'll say is that I don't know. There was something a little bit missing in that, but I didn't want to bring this up because it was very much without spoiling the film. It was a film of 3 acts, and in between the second and third act, something just goes a little bit amiss there.
Yeah,
but I don't want to talk about that because I think this film that other people would have seen and probably like, as well as if you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah, I mean there will be a certain degree of spoilerishness, but
yeah,
but I completely agree. And there is a moment where you think, well, hang on, what happened there?
Yeah.
When they are kind of disillusioned with what's going on.
Yeah, but the females in this film are all very strong, even down to I can't remember her name. Veronica Cartwright, Felicia Alden, thank you. Who, in the marriage between her and Richard Jenkins playing Clyde, she's very much the woman in charge.
Yes.
There's a very strong females in this film. And it's not... it's handled really, really well.
And I think the thing is that, they are underestimated, and that's, why they're kind of able to overcome things. And because near the beginning, when he's sort of seducing the 3 women, he kind of talks about how terrible men are and, led by their penises and all of that kind of... He talks a good game to win them over, and it's kind of almost like, oh, they think they're strong women, but actually what they want is a man. And in that, he kind of completely underestimates them and how powerful they are and how they don't need, they really don't need a man. All they need is each other. And,
What did you say in that voice?
I don't know, because it sounded a bit lame and corny, but spoilers, I'm sorry, but by the end, they have everything that he could have provided for them.
Yeah.
But he's not in the picture.
Yeah.
Well, he is. He's in the TV.
Yeah. The story, the actual book is quite different to the film.
Oh.
So the Daryl Van Horn isn't as devilish as the women are.
Ah.
So why they chose to spin it that way, who knows? But
probably
the book is
just
quite different.
more easily sold if they're not bad people.
Yeah, exactly.
So, speaking of girl power,
coming up and down in the midnight hour. Woo. I think that was Shampoo or Daphne and Celeste.
I don't think it was Daphne and Celeste.
I think it was Shampoo then.
Okay. Comment to let us know who did that. Speaking of girl power, let's talk about Cher.
Right. Okay. What I will say, I'm not sure we're allowed to.
Legally,
yeah. No, go on.
We're not supposed to invoke her name.
Yes. If you say her name more than 5 times, then she appears.
Brilliant. That would be terrifying.
Kids all around the nation have lit a candle in their bathroom, turn the light out, going Cher.
You stopped short there.
I did.
Just in case. No, but so it's been a long time since I have seen Cher in a film.
Okay.
And I am a little bit in love with young Cher. She is so statuesque and
She's powerful.
She's just brilliant and
gorgeous.
oozes
Power.
Yeah, she does.
She has authority.
I think it's a lot to do with the hair.
Really, you think?
Yes.
I don't know what it is, but she has it.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't really want to discuss about her music because I'm not a massive fan of her music. But
No, I mean, I there's a few kind of 80s tracks that, you know, Shoop Shoop song.
Okay.
Specifically, but no.
Well, the Shoop Shoop song is from the film Mermaids.
Yes, I know.
Oh, that's a great film.
Yes, it is.
That is a great film. It's a girly film, but
Nothing wrong with that.
I remember my sisters and my mum used to love that film. You know, me and my dad would be wanting to watch Rocky or something. Mum and sister.
Shut up! You loved it.
Yeah, that's true. I do actually like Mermaids. No, Mermaids is actually a really good film. It is really, really good. As well as Silkwood, Moonstruck, which I haven't seen that film for a long time.
I don't think I have seen it.
It's a very good
That's
film.
her Oscar film, isn't it?
Yeah. She won Best Leading Lady for that.
Amazing.
If These Walls Could Talk, that's a very girly woman film.
Girly woman film.
I had to breathe. You know. Then she was in Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, which I haven't seen, but I've heard that she's brilliant in that.
Okay, I mean, I would watch it just to see Cher.
I'd give it a go. But the film I really, truly love of Cher's is Mask.
Oh yes, I haven't seen that for
Rocky
a long time.
Dennis.
Yeah.
That's a really good film.
Yes. Yeah, that's brilliant. We should definitely watch that.
Try and find that film. That's such a good film.
Yeah,
It's
sad.
based on a true story about Rocky Dennis, and I will hear nothing bad said about that film.
Okay.
Because I do actually really like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cher is really... In fact, I will say all of this film is well cast.
Yes, definitely.
Like we've already mentioned, because we haven't really spoken about Susan Sarandon or Michelle Pfeiffer. They all do a really brilliant job.
Yeah, and they've got very different kind of personas in this as well. They're like the Powerpuff Girls in woman form.
Did you know? How about this? This is a really weird one. This isn't a fact. It was just something that I kind of went, oh yeah. All of the leading people in this film have appeared in, if not musicals, have sung in film.
Ah.
So Cher has what is she saying? I just completely
Mamma
forgot.
Mia,
It's just Mamma Mia. I just completely went out of my head. Susan Sarandon was, of course, in Rock Horror Picture Show. Michelle Pfeiffer was in the brilliant, amazing film Grease 2, and Jack Nicholson was in Tommy by The Who.
Ah.
So they've all
I
sung.
haven't seen that for a long time.
Oh, that's a acid trip of a film. That is
Great, I like it.
Yeah, but yeah, they're all singers. Susan Sarandon.
Yes.
I haven't just said your name. I know your name is Freya. You're not Susan Sarandon. Things would have turned out quite differently if you were Susan Sarandon.
Quite.
Yes, but Susan Sarandon is really good in this.
She's probably the.
I think she gets the most out of this.
She does, yeah. She's probably the most memorable of the three, and she's the one that kind of really has a transformation in terms of her behaviour and how she looks as well.
Well, she gets transformation and she gets the journey. You don't really see Cher or Michelle Pfeiffer really.
They kind of just
travel.
stay the same way, whereas Susan Sarandon's character, what's the name of the character again?
Her name is Jane.
Jane. She goes from, having her hair in a plait and it's kind of mousy brown and she wears very sensible clothes, she's a music teacher, to having this magnificent kind of ginger perm.
And no bra.
She's not topless, but
no
bra.
Yeah.
And yeah, she just has this complete kind of, transformation and, frees herself after, shagging the devil, which she probably would.
Can I just say that Michelle Pfeiffer, Michelle Pfeiffer,
yes,
she looks stunning in this.
She's very young and very lovely, isn't she?
Yeah,
she's very
lovely.
She's
those
so
bee-stung lips of hers.
bee-stung licks. I can't talk today.
Neither can I. Good thing we're podcasters.
I know, right? And she's got those piercing blue eyes, and she's she's very
So
young and
beautiful in
lovely,
this.
and she's still lovely.
And it's also nice to see a young Richard Jenkins
Yes,
from Cabin in the Woods
Yes.
fame. Well, not
Yes.
really fame,
though he
Burn
doesn't
After
look
Reading
that
stuff.
young, does he?
No. No.
But he's great as well. He's a great character.
I've got to try and find a Richard Jenkins film where he actually looks young.
Yeah,
And
there
has
are a